Greetings, Henley community. Eddie Fabijan here, your principal, to do you an update. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Fleming and Tash Farrier and the school team for a wonderful formal and graduation we had recently. It was great with our current world and climate to be able to get together, celebrate the learning of 13 years for our young people. I do remember them when they rocked up in year 8 many years ago and how young and fragile they were, but now 5 years later they're off into the wild blue yonder. Given what's been going on, I also would like to get some feedback from parents of year 12 or anyone who is there. It's been a challenge, as you might gather, to try and make the event successful. We've had to move, we've had issues with the cricket in terms of international events happening, and so we've had to adapt and evolve once more. I know a survey or questionnaire will come out soon to seek your wisdom as to how we can make next year's graduation formal even better. The second issue for today is uniform. I spoke earlier in the year that the teachers and leaders were reviewing our processes within the school. The uniform is as it always has been, but we wanted to find an equitable, fair, a gender neutral language around our uniform, and so we will have that information come to you. What will happen over the remainder of the year is we will start applying those procedures and with the view of encouraging our students to be in full uniform. So also you've got time in the holidays to go to the uniform shop and get yourself restocked and be to code. And the last thing is, at the end of last term I spoke about mobile phones. I want to thank the many parents and students and teachers who have conversed with me about what the options and what we should do. A big challenge in that is our government has part of its election platform said that it would bring out its mobile phone policy for schools. It's my understanding that there'll be some form of ban imposed, so therefore we will follow our department's guidelines and adhere to that policy. It may not be implemented until the second half of next year, but our goal is will be to adhere to that. So at this stage, we're not taking any action on phones on the grounds we need to know what our government is saying and what they want from us. To that end, our current policy process does align fairly closely to the department's one. So we would be encouraging staff and teachers to stick to that. Essentially the message is phones stay in their bags or in their lockers, not to be seen during lesson time. We want them to be learning and engaged in their activities. If they fail to follow those procedures, the ultimate consequence is they have to take the phone to the front office and have it handed in and lose access to it. Maybe in the future, when we know more detail about the department's policies, we can maybe revisit the yonder pouches I talked about. I see them as a valuable way because I know teachers like to use the phones because they're quite sometimes more powerful than the laptop. For example, this video is being filmed on a phone, and the technology is sometimes superior to that of a conventional camera. So we've got a challenge to how do we use the technology right and fairly, but how do we help our young people to manage that very powerful resource? One way to manage that is I encourage parents, if you've got a year 8 or even a year 7 child coming, there are softwares available online and on the web that you can control the phone. For example, one software parent showed me was called Our Pact. Our Pact allows you to control when they connect to the phone. You can get it shut off so they can't touch it at night time when they go to bed. You can also control it when they're at school. It may be a way in which you might want to work with your children and encourage them to look at that software and help them to self-manage, self-regulate, and to become high-quality citizens of Henley Beach. I'll be returning probably with the last video soon, but for now, thank you very much for enjoying and engaging with Henley, and I look forward to meeting you in the near future. Thank you.